Hi there, Megan Brummel with Wayfinders Leadership. When humans are working with other humans, it's not uncommon sometimes to be frustrated with one another. And within that frustration, sometimes we might find ourselves in reactive mode. Now, when we find ourselves in reactive mode, often with our team members, and it is actually a norm where other team members get reactive with each other, and it is never addressed. It persists and is never really acknowledged as and processed through. This can undercut trust on the team. The psychological safety likely goes down, and usually what you'll see after a while is people will stop saying what they think because being in reactive mode with each other is just not comfortable after a while. So what I want to give you over the next 4 days are 4 tips on how to get out of reactive mode when you find yourself in it. Like I said before, it's not an uncommon thing to be in reactive mode. It's very human. However, we want to address it in a way that can actually build trust on our team and with our team members instead of undercut it. So tip number 1 today is when you notice yourself getting into reactive mode, stop what you're doing. I'm serious. Just stop what you're doing. I don't even care if you're mid-sentence. It's okay to go ahead and hit pause and then acknowledge that you are in reactive mode. The reason why we want to just stop is the typical time between stimulus and response is a quarter of a second. And when we respond in that quarter of a second, we usually are defaulting to patterns within our neurological pathway. And they are often, when in reactive mode, they're usually unhelpful patterns, and we are just not showing up as our best. Another reason why we're not showing up on our best is because we're reacting so quickly, we're actually not accessing the logical part of our brain, our prefrontal cortex. So when you allow yourself to stop, you are trying to extend the time between stimulus and response so you can choose how you want to respond instead of just acting in an unhelpful way, reacting in an unhelpful way. The other thing I want to mention here is it's okay to stop. In fact, when you stop and acknowledge it in the moment, this is a wonderful opportunity to build trust in the moment of being reactive. When you tell the people that you're being reactive with, hang on, I just need to hit pause right now, and because I'm about to show up in an unhelpful way, I'm noticing I'm getting into a reactive state, and I don't want to show up this way because I respect you, or because I really care about this thing that we're working on and I want to find a resolution. And I know right now is not a good time for me. Can we circle back in about 5 minutes or a day or however much time you need and is appropriate for the situation? This builds trust because you are actually exercising self-awareness and emotional intelligence and acknowledging it to your team. You are actually modeling self-awareness and emotional intelligence to them when you are doing it. And so it's a fantastic way to actually build trust in the moment. Now, ultimately, our goal in pausing when we're in reactive mode is that we might just take a deep breath. So instead of reacting in that quarter of a second, we're giving ourselves 2 to 4 seconds to really decide how we want to respond. However, it takes some practice and exercise to get to that point where we can just take a deep breath and then show up more productively. You can certainly get there, but know that it might take you some time to get there as you practice that pause. So there you have it. Hopefully this is a little bit helpful for you. Come back tomorrow for tip number 2.